YouTube. Good to see everybody back again. We are in the evening time right now. I'm starting to shut down myself, get ready to go to bed, and I hope you are doing so too. I'm Dr. Robyn, your clinical pharmacist and sleep health coach, here to help you to get the most amazing sleep ever. So this is the right place to be tonight if you're having issues with any type of insomnia. So if you have issues going to sleep where you just can't seem to turn your mind off, or if you have issues staying asleep, you are in the right place tonight. So what we're going to talk about is really look at, is stress is what's keeping you up at night. The majority of the people that come to me have what they call stress-induced insomnia. And this is what I had myself several years ago. And I tried a bunch of different things. We'll go into that. Some of the things I tried. It was really a trial and error system that I used to see what would work, what didn't work, and what would get me back on my feet. Everyone needs a good night's sleep to get back on their feet. It's so important. So we're gonna go ahead, let's see, send out any notifications while we're waiting for some people to pop on tonight. Let's see. Yeah, it looks good so far. We'll send out to Facebook, Instagram. Okay. Looks good. I got it. Okay. So some people don't have an issue necessarily going to sleep, but it's staying asleep at night. And while it's actually normal to wake up throughout the night, it's not normal to, wake up and not be able to go back to sleep. So we're going to look at that. We're going to look at, some of the different, really science-backed ways for you to get back to sleep at night, and for you to even just to calm your mind down, kind of calm that stress down so that you can get great sleep. So welcome. If you're new here, thank you for the likes. I appreciate that. Definitely give us some likes so that we can definitely, and I see somebody. Okay, Mr. Bones, how are you doing? Good to see you. Definitely subscribe to our channel. If this is something you are struggling with, maybe you're not struggling with it, but maybe you know somebody who is. Be sure to subscribe to our channel, SleepWell RX. We are going to go ahead and get started with 3 expert back tricks to shut your brain off at night. A lot of our brains are just racing and racing right now. So many people that deal with insomnia, again, it's stress-induced insomnia. So not just something random. I had someone in my inbox who swore it was genetic. Most insomnia is not genetic. Humans have the ability to sleep on their own naturally without drugs, without herbs. We have a God-given ability to get good sleep. So that's what I'm here to help you today. A lot of people, your body's exhausted. You're waking up at like 2 a.m. and your thoughts are replaying things that were said earlier in the day, any mistakes that were made, any corrections that need to be made. A lot of times our brains are just racing and racing with all the things that we have to get done for tomorrow. Your stomach can feel tight, and a lot of the stress won't just affect definitely. Hi, I see some people coming in. Hi, definitely. Thank you. Welcome to the live. Welcome. Let's see, can I see someone on here? Okay, great. Someone said, don't say that. Well, it's true. Yes, I'm definitely trying to help you all really get good sleep here. Be sure to subscribe to our channel if you believe you're in the right place so that you can wake up every day to, really take on your world. You're not waking up groggy. I have clients who come to me who say they wake up more tired than when they went to bed. So if you want to get rid of that, if you can relate to that, you are in the right place. So we're going to be looking at, is stress sabotaging your snooze, even as we speak right now? I know certain parts of the world, it's really, really late. You probably should be snoozing, but you're having that stress. And it's really understandable. We have so much going on in our world right now. I know just, we've woken up to more conflicts, to more, instability in our markets. It seems like, our prices just keep going up and up and up nonstop. So I get it, okay? I definitely, definitely, definitely get it in terms of why we all could be feeling that right now. But we can't let these events rob us of our health. And that's what they're trying to do. Previously, I'll just give you a little bit of backstory to me. Several years ago, I was going through a lot. Had a new job, and it was an overnight job, which I am not a night person, which is a whole nother story. My dad died during this. I was, going through a divorce during that time. I had my son, single mom. It was just a lot on my plate, and I just couldn't get to sleep. I tried some different things. One of the first things I tried was a pharmaceutical, Ambien. And also, a lot of you, I'm seeing some questions here. Be sure to put some questions down if you are. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, I appreciate that. Put your questions that you may have definitely down in the comments so we can get those answered tonight. If I can't answer them, I'll actually point you in the right direction. And someone said, yeah, your story was sad. It was sad at that time, and historically, I could always sleep. In fact, sleep was kind of like an escape for me. It was something that, it was a reward for me. If things were going good in my life, I would, hey, let me take a great nap. Things are going awesome. If things were going bad, I would take a nap. But I always had that ability until I had my plate overwhelmed with all of these stressors, okay? And like I said, I tried Ambien, went to a primary care doctor. A lot of people don't know this, but when your doctor prescribes a lot of those various sleep medications, the FDA has approved those for temporary usage, okay? They're not meant to be used for, months and years at a time. Because once again, being able to sleep is our God-given right. It's something that we all should be able to do. It's not just we should be able to do it, we also need to be able to do it. Our immune systems are fighting off a lot of disease while we're sleeping. We're actually consolidating memories. So if you're finding that you're having brain fog or issues, definitely with your brain going on, you definitely want to use really, really good sleep to help consolidate your memories. If you're having, any issues with emotional regulation, where you're having a difficult time regulating your emotions, that's also another area where you really, really need to look into and see, are you getting good sleep? And if not, what can you do to fix that? So once again, when I had my personal stress issues, I tried some Ambien, and I found that it made me overly groggy. Okay, it made me so groggy that, I could get to sleep at night. I had kind of weird dreams. And then in the morning, I was just still tired for like a next day or two. It took a long, long time for it to wear off. I was also worried about, because it is a particular drug that does have the potential for a person to become dependent on it. And that was something I really didn't want for myself. I didn't want to become dependent personally on Ambien. Someone said, how do you prevent bad dreams? That's a really, really good question. That's a good question. I tend to look, and I like to do a combination of physical and spiritual. Bad dreams, I see that consistently. I like to look to see, okay, are you eating right before bed? If you're eating right before bed, especially something high sugary, high fatty, high salty, right before you go to sleep, I notice that it can excite dreams, make them overly vivid, so bad that they're nightmares and you can't stay asleep. So that really defeats the whole purpose of definitely having that happen. So you definitely want to look at what foods you're eating, in terms of also what are you drinking right before bed. Okay, look at that. When my son was a young man, well, he's still a young man now, but even a little boy, I would do some things in his room to kind of keep him from getting nightmares. I would sage the room, very good. So now we're looking at the spiritual component. Sometimes there is a spiritual component why people are attracting bad dreams. So I would sage the room, and also putting a bowl of glass water. So just a glass bowl, clear glass bowl, and putting water under the bed seem to absorb. Also, various crystals can help. I don't have any of my major crystals down here with me, but some crystals can actually make your dreams worse. So if you're finding that certain dreams can definitely, make you a little bit overexcited, take those off at nighttime. Um, Also, there are certain crystals that can absorb if you're having bad dreams, like tektites is one thing that comes to mind. They're really good for absorbing negativity overall. And so that's probably one of my best recommendations if you're having bad dreams. So that's a good question, really good question. Thank you. Keep the questions coming. If you all have questions, definitely like the video. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. If this is information that's helping you tonight, be sure to subscribe, give us some likes. So we could push this out more to the algorithm. I thank you for the likes that have come so far. I appreciate it. And we'll go ahead and keep going. So, I was going into a little bit of the background, in terms of, I didn't react well to the ambient. I didn't want to become dependent on it. I tried melatonin in pill form. And that also gave me really, and we're talking about bad dreams here. I would look into, what different supplements is a person taking. The melatonin definitely gave me, bad dreams. Someone said, okay, I got you. Good. You understand. Thank you so much. Some of the bad dreams, melatonin made them like overly vivid, or I would be waking up in the middle of the night, difficult, couldn't go back to sleep. So the melatonin didn't work for me. And a lot of this, well, like I said, was stress-induced insomnia. So in this video, I want to go a little bit of a deep dive into, the stress hormones we get when we're dealing with a lot of stress, how we can individually calm our nervous systems with pharmaceuticals, without any types of, really outside issues, and really how to quiet our racing mind. If your mind is just racing, and you can't seem to get that good night's sleep, this could be super helpful. So definitely stay to the end so that we can go over all three of these. I'm seeing if there's any other questions. Be sure to put your questions down, before we, do a deep dive into this. Good. Okay, so I did get a question. What are some of the major causes of the stress-induced insomnia? Really good. So when we're high stressed, we have high cortisol levels, okay? And we also have high adrenaline levels too. That's really our fight or flight hormone. Our body, our brains, when we are even imagining, stressful situations that have not happened, that may never happen, it's like our brains don't know that it's imagination, and it begins, alerting the body, uh-oh, we're in trouble. We need to, get some cortisol on board. We need to get some adrenaline on board to help Dr. Robyn out. So this is something you definitely want to be aware of. Cortisol is a good hormone. We should have high levels in the morning when we wake up, because that's when we have to go for it and take care of things in the world, in our lives. But it should not be high at nighttime, okay? So we're going to look at some different exercises to definitely help with that. Another cause, that is really ruminating, where we're just ruminating over and over things that have happened during the day, in our past, things that might happen in the future. And it's just a vicious mind loop. Um, Someone said soreness. If you don't know, I told her, is there any way you could tell me how to prevent soreness? Okay, I guess I would need some more information. Thank you for putting that question down there. Are you waking up sore, like sore, neck, muscles? One of the best muscle relaxants is magnesium that could be taken orally, can help with soreness and so forth. But you definitely want to work with a practitioner to see, where your magnesium levels are. You just don't want to be inadvertently, supplementing with that. Okay, in the legs. Definitely, I would encourage you to do some research on magnesium glycinate. If you're having, restless leg syndrome, that can be definitely mean you're deficient. I think about 70% was the last statistics I heard from like the CDC in terms of how many Americans are actually deficient in the main mineral magnesium. Okay, this is something that's really serious because magnesium is a conductor in our hearts. It's one of our major conductors and cofactors throughout many functions in the body. So definitely do some research on that. Definitely, and make sure you're working with a practitioner. I don't like people just willy-nilly picking out odd supplements and vitamins without getting levels tested, getting blood work done, and really working with someone who can evaluate and see how well you're doing on supplements. Maybe you're having a side effect from them. Supplements can have side effects too. So that's a really good question. So yeah, we were talking about the rumination that can occur. And that's like we said, you're replaying conversations over and over again. You're worried about, deadlines, obsessing over things that may never happen. I know that is something that I can be really in my head. And so that was something I definitely to this day, I have to work on. And your brain can't really tell the difference between a real threat or an imagination threat. So that's something really important to remember. So this rumination can actually trigger, the cortisol because it thinks your body's in danger. It can trigger also the adrenaline. It raises your heart rate and it keeps you in this fight or flight state. Now, the fight or flight state is, necessary for us because there may become a time where we need to flee somewhere or we might have to fight somewhere. So I get that, but we weren't meant to be in fight and flight 24/7. A lot of our lives, this is happening right now where we don't exit out of fight or flight. This puts us at risk for high blood pressure, elevated heart rate, puts us at risk for having heart and cardiovascular issues. So that's definitely something to keep in mind and really remember that. Let's see. Someone says, why does this happen more at night? So that's a really good question. So what happens is, at nighttime, things have slowed down from the day. They've gotten darker from the day. And your brain is running these mental updates. Remember I said that at nighttime, your brain is consolidating your memories and actually consolidating and assisting with your emotions that you had throughout the day. So emotional regulation. Your brain finally has time to process because things have calmed down during the day. You're alone sometimes. It can be more quiet. It can be dark. And all of a sudden, your body starts doing these kind of like stress security scans. Start scanning to see because your body's purpose, your brain's purpose is to keep you safe. Okay? Unfortunately, when this happens nonstop, it keeps you on high alert all the time. And we weren't meant to be on nonstop, constant 24/7 high alert. So that's a really good question. Be sure to subscribe to our channel here at SleepWell RX. If you're finding this information helpful, you're enjoying learning more about our body's stress response and how this could be keeping you awake at night. So definitely be sure to subscribe. I see a few more likes. I appreciate the likes. Thank you. I really like that. So that's great. So one of the missions is sleep isn't just about being tired, okay? Once again, our bodies are doing so much during sleep. I talked in my last video how our bodies are even regulating our appetites during sleep with the ghrelin and the leptin hormones. It's regulating insulin during sleep time. We are, even our female and our male hormones, so much regulation is occurring during that rest time. Our bodies are regenerating new tissue during rest time. There's just so many things that are going on. We are in the midst of cough and cold season right now. Okay, so everyone seems like around me they have sore throats, they're coughing, colds. But this is something that is super, super important because getting good sleep actually helps to reinforce our immune systems. That's why a lot of times, the recommendations, our old moms, grandmas would always recommend make sure that you're getting good rest if you're fighting off cold, influenza, something of that nature, to really, really activate your immune system to assist with fighting those viruses off. That's a good question. Okay. Let's see if there are any other questions. Okay, looks good. So sleep isn't just, once again, just about, I'm tired, I'm sleeping. You're doing a lot of major serious functions that keep you healthy. It's literally one of the major foundations to getting great health is getting good sleep. So be sure, again, I see some new people popping on. Definitely. And someone asked doing stretches. Yeah, that's a good time in the morning time. And I'm glad you said that, because if we do too much activity and too much exercises at nighttime, we actually raise our nighttime cortisol. Okay, so I know some people, they need to exercise, when they get off work. That's fine if you get off work 4 or 5 and you're exercising like at 6. But if you go to bed at 10 and you just start exercising at 9:30, that can totally, spike your cortisol levels where you're unable to get a good night's sleep. So that's a really good question. So yeah, definitely do those stretches in the morning time. So thank you. Be sure to subscribe to our channel here at SleepWell RX. We thank you for the new people that have subscribed tonight. Come on board. Thank you for the likes, and we'll go ahead and keep on going. So one of the first things we're going to talk about is doing a structured brain dump, okay? And this is going to stop you ruminating and playing things over and over, because you're going to be moving those worries out of your head and onto paper. And this is just not random journaling either. It's called structured problem solving. So research shows that it breaks up negative repetitive thinking. So that endless loop that just won't stop and that just keeps you awake. Definitely take that, do a brain dump and put it down on paper. This will definitely assist you into really calming the brain down so that you can get a good night's sleep, okay? I also like to do a journaling of gratitude, because sometimes, I recently had an incident just a few days ago where I got a bill in the evening that I wasn't expecting, and my brain began that ruminating in the evening. But I also, in addition to dumping that onto paper, I took an extra step and started writing down all the things that I was thankful for. And having that attitude of gratitude really calms you down and lets you know, the universe isn't totally against you. This is a mishap. This is a part of life, but you're going to be okay. And look at all the things you have to be grateful for. So let's see, I have to go on. So, okay, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for stopping by. Be sure to subscribe to our channel if you have to hop off. We won't be on much longer. I'm trying to do about 30 minutes tonight, so we have a few more minutes left. So that's the number one thing, a structured brain dump. And I'm going to add another thing. If I have a lot of things to do the next day, I am going, oh, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I like to put down maybe the top 3 priorities the night before. That's also a brain dump, because sometimes I'm thinking, oh my God, I have such a busy day tomorrow and I have a gazillion things to do. Let's see. Let's get those top 3 priority things that have to get done. Some things I may be able to get done, but I don't need to necessarily put those down. So you want to do this evening brain dump. If you just find that your brain is just, being sabotaged by stress at night and you can't get to sleep. So the 3 things you want to do and write down is number 1, anything that's bothering you, get it out of your brain, put it on paper. Number 2, an attitude of gratitude is so, so good, because you will start to see, and sometimes we could think, oh my God, the world's against me, the universe is against me. But when I can write down the things I've been grateful for right now, currently and in the past, jotting those down briefly before bed, I seem to calm down. And it lets me know that, the world isn't against me. There's some hiccups in life. I don't have a magic wand to get rid of those hiccups. I wish I did. Everyone's life has them. But overall, I have so much to be grateful for. And if my brain is racing because I have so much to do the next day, I also write down those top 3 priorities. If you have 30 things to do the next day, I would highly advise you spread that out over your next week. That is very overwhelming and very difficult to get a good night's sleep. Okay, so you're just gonna grab a notebook and pen, okay, and write down, all the things on your mind. No filter, no organizing it, and it could be something, awkward that was said during the day, a bill you're worried about, you're trying to figure out, any deadlines coming up, all of these things. Nothing's off limits. This is your personal private journal, your personal brain dump journal to get this off of your mind. This is called structured problem solving. So let's see, is there any questions? Oh, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate all this subscribing tonight. Good. Okay, and someone asked, so why does this work for the brain? So writing things down tells your brain, okay, this is captured, okay? So you can stop reminding me, you can stop this loop. We can calm down now and get a good night's sleep. It also works because it shifts your brain from being anxiety and overly anxious. It shifts it from being problem solving mode to listen. I've got this covered. We'll handle this in the morning, but it looks okay right now. So it really calms your nervous system, it signals safety, and really it allows and alerts your body, mind, and soul that it is time to rest. So that's so important as well. So thank you. Let's see if there's any other questions. Okay, so we'll go ahead to trick number 2 that we have. And these are science-backed things. These just aren't random hacks that you would, see on the internet. These are science-backed tips. And the next one is called box breathing. Okay, so on this channel, I've exhibited the 4-4, I think it was the 4-7-8 breathing before. That's one way to breathe. The box breathing is when you breathe in the box, okay? So you're doing 4, 4, 4, and 4, okay? So you're gonna exhale fully. Then you're gonna inhale through 4, through your nose preferably. You're gonna hold it for 4, and then you're gonna exhale. So I'm gonna try and give an example, best example of doing this. So I like to close my eyes, kind of relax. I will roll my neck a bit before I do my breathing and just kind of release as much tension. Again, you don't want intense exercise right before bed because that spikes your cortisol, but nice stretching, moving your neck, lifting your arms, doing stretching, all of that is just kind of releasing the tension. Even doing, self-massage where you're just gonna, rub any of the tension out of your shoulders. This is a popular place where a lot of people hold that tension in through the day. So we're gonna do the example. I'm gonna exhale fully. Inhale through my nose for 4. Hold it for 4. And exhale through your mouth for 4. And doing this actually increases the oxygenation to your brain, to your whole body, helping to really calm you down and relaxing. So if someone said, can I do that one more time? Okay, so we're gonna do the 4, 4, 4, 4. It's the box breathing. So you're breathing in the box. This is going to help you to relieve tension, okay? So we're going to exhale fully through our mouth. Be sure to subscribe here to our channel if you are enjoying these deep breathing exercises or exercises to relieve stress. Definitely hop on and subscribe here. Give us some likes. I see a couple of more likes going out. The more likes we get, we can push this out more to the algorithm and help more people to relieve stress. So we're going to exhale fully through our mouth for 4. Inhale through your nose for 4. Hold it for 4. Exhale through our mouth through 4. Okay, I hope I can make it through the rest of the video because I feel like taking a nap now. Just doing those breathing exercises. Breath work has definitely been shown to do a lot of really great anti-stress things. So looking at lowering your heart rate, lowering your blood pressure, which will in turn lower your risk for cardiovascular disease, lowering your cortisol. It interrupts if your brain is just racing and racing, okay? It gives your mind something really simple to focus on, which is your breath work. And this will entail, increasing your oxygenation to your brain. A lot of us just don't get a lot of oxygenation. We're shallow breathers, and this is something I'm personally working on. I have a mentor who told me, Robyn, if you breathe shallow, you'll have a shallow life. If you breathe deep, you'll have a deep, fulfilling life. So that's something definitely to look at. I've been working more and more on that. So I'll say that again. If you are breathing shallow, that will lead to you having a shallow life. Taking good, deep, fulfilling breaths will actually lead to a much deeper, fulfilling life. Okay, and we already talked about that breath work that's going to lower the heart rate, lower the blood pressure, increase oxygenation to your brain and your whole body on a cellular structure. It's going to interrupt that rumination that we talked about. It gives your mind something really simple to focus on finally so that you can get that good night's sleep. Breath work is great for that sleep. So I'm seeing if there's any other questions. Let me see here. Okay. What else is breath work good for? So breath work is good for, if you're having any issues with anxiety, okay? Any issues where you're just holding a lot of tension within your body. Breath work is excellent for that. Any panic attacks, it's superb for our mental health. I can remember being a little girl, my dad, he could see me breathing heavy. If I got mad at something, he was like, Robyn, calm yourself down and take a deep breath. And sometimes I was so mad, I didn't want to take a deep breath. I'm like, no, I just want to be angry. No, take a deep breath. It helps us to calm down, relieve anxiety, superb for our mental health, increases that oxygenation through our whole body, just makes us feel good and is relaxing and soothing. So that's a great question. Thank you. So the next one and the final thing we're going to looking at is doing what we call a progressive muscle relaxation, where we're doing a tension release scan. We're going through all of our muscles from head to toe and actually releasing tension. So we're going to start out with our face, our temples up here, and we're actually going to tighten them up. Okay. And now stress automatically causes them to tighten, but we're going to tighten them anymore. So we'll start with our temples, we'll go to our jaw, we'll go to our neck, we'll go down our shoulders. And then we're going to tighten those up, and then we're going to release, okay? We'll do that with our arms, holding close, and then doing a release. Our legs all the way down to our feet. And then once we've gotten down to the feet, then we're going to move upward. So you kind of tighten again and do a release for all of that. You're going to inhale and just tense up for 5 seconds, release. And you're going to rest in relaxation. Your body knows the difference from being tense and relaxed. And this relaxation will help you to eliminate a lot of the stress that you're feeling. There are certain places that a lot of us will hold various, I want to say stress. I know some people hold a lot of stress in their jaw. I'm a person, I can hold it in my shoulders. So in addition to the relaxation, I'm also going to do a massage on the shoulders, doing shoulder, neck rolls, and so forth as well. That can be, from someone who's thinking they're holding, the weight of the world on their shoulders. It's good to release that so that you can get a great, great night's sleep. Stress is just not only out there in the ether and in our brain. When it comes close enough, I had a massage therapist tell me, your issues are in your tissues. I'll say that again. Your issues are in your tissues. And this means really simply that once stress gets so much for us, it starts to affect our physical bodies. We can have increased pain. If you're already a person that's dealing with pain issues, we can have increased pain, increased tension, and it can lead, unfortunately, to even more chronic, serious health issues. In the past few years, the American Medical Association actually acknowledges that one of the major causes, a lot of our chronic diseases, issues, and illnesses, is not necessarily even smoking, it's not necessarily genetics. It's really how we handle and deal with stress. And it's so important because no one that I have met has a magic wand to eliminate stress. I haven't seen that yet. So how we can best deal with it. And we can't eliminate some of it from our lives. Again, I haven't seen anyone eliminate 100% of the stress from their lives, but some of it can be eliminated, and that's something you can work on too. Let's see, I think that's it for tonight. So, we went over some of the basic things as to why is stress sabotaging your ability to get a good night's sleep. When we're hyper stressed out, we have those high cortisol levels, high adrenaline levels, because our body is in a fight or flight situation. Our brains really can't tell the difference between, I'm imagining 2 years from now I'm going to have a problem. It can't tell that this isn't happening right now. Okay, so it's like, okay, let's get these hormones up because Robyn's going through a crisis right now, even though this crisis has never happened and likely it never will happen. So this is something definitely to look at. Rumination, where we start repeating all these things that have happened during the day, where we've happened, and sometimes it's not even during the day. It's something that happened to me, in 8th grade that time, where I forgot to tie my shoe or something. It could be something crazy like that. It seems like at nighttime is when that happens. So some of the things we talked about, the 3 basic things that are really science-backed proven, is doing that brain dump, getting that stuff off of your brain in your journal. Once again, it doesn't have to be organized, fancy, or pretty. For your eyes only, doing some gratitude writing in that same journal. And if you are really stressed out because you have so much to do, prioritize the top 3 things for the next day. Get those on paper too. Number 2, we talked about actually, doing the muscle relaxation. During, you're going to tense up those muscles, release all of that. And finally, we talked about the box breathing, the 4-4-4-4 breathing. So I'm going to see if there's any other questions. If not, I think we're just about done for the night. Yeah. Well, I want to thank you all again. We're off to a start. I think we're only, January 4th today. So yeah, we're off to a great start for a new year. Be sure to, if you're watching this in the future, if you have any questions, put them down in the comments. Take care, sleep well, live well, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.